Hello everyone, this is Yael from Yael Alchemy, and I'm here to bring you the weekly message for Twin Flames for the week of June 17th to the 23rd. Okay? And, well, hello again. I've been gone for a while. I just realized it when I checked on the last video that I put out. And it's been a busy time. Okay, well, in a nutshell, my dad lost the national elections that he ran as a candidate for, and but that was karmic. I actually knew he wouldn't win, but of course I couldn't tell him that. And well, don't tell him. He doesn't watch my videos anyway. Um, but that was karmic, and that has to do with this solstice. I'm sure you all know that we're entering the Solstice Gateway on the 21st and the 22nd of June later this week, and a lot of it has to do with karmic clearing. Okay, that's part of it. And so, and for those who aren't twin flames, and here's the thing with karma though. We're in the age of Aquarius, and in the age of Aquarius right now, the resolution and the release of karma is very, very fast. It's almost instantaneous. But in the grand scheme of time, as we know it, in as in human time, because we measure it, soul time, there is no time, okay? But the human concept of time, it's much faster now. It actually happens in actually the same lifetime. If before you had to resolve your own karma and had to wait a different lifetime to resolve it, to be given another opportunity to clear your karma, now because we're in the age of Aquarius, that's very, very fast. And it happens faster when you can release your karma by changing from within, by clearing all those blocks, all those things, and realizing what it was that made you incur karma. Okay, and often that is possible to release it, but with by being conscious of it in the first place, and by going through your own ascension process. And that's why a lot of folks right now who are incarnated at this time are on that journey. So a large number of twin flames have already released this and have no karma to resolve. Okay, there is a segment of the twin flame population of star seeds and light workers who are that way, and they just come here for the human experience, and they don't have karmic connections, and that's when free will comes in. Anyway, that's part of the summer solstice, and I digress. But I will explain a lot more about that when the opportunity arises again. And so, for those who aren't twin flames, who light workers, star seeds, and who are not consciously releasing their karma, the universe gives them opportunities to resolve that. Now, that's much harder. Like, take for example my dad. It had to take that loss for him to go within. There's usually an external event that the universe gives you so that you can look within. But that's a much harder lesson than you trying to self-resolve. I mean, that's IMHO, okay, in my humble opinion. So it's a more efficient, faster way if one does the work from within. Well, anyway, so there was that, and then work stuff, part of the anniversary committee. It was this month, it was just last week, and I belong to a big institution, and my boss was a chair and appointed me, so they're busy with that. And it was my birthday last week, and there were a lot of things. You know how you tend to get the birthday blues. I was dealing with that, and a lot of fear was cropping up regarding the future, and I had to clear all that and to be in a better place, because you can't channel uh, when you're not a clear channel. And I really don't do that to keep integrity in my work. So I make sure that I'm clear channel. So there will be times, because I am also on my personal ascension journey, that I may not be available to read, or I desist from doing a reading when I'm not ready, because I want to maintain integrity in my readings, and a lot of my clients will attest to that. Okay, that the accuracies, because there's nothing added that would color the reading, and there. Okay, so that's been clear, and I'm glad I don't have postpartum birthday. You're a year older than that, depression or whatever. So I've made my peace with that, and ready to move forward. And oh, and there was a time, I think it was last week, that I said that, okay, I think I need to give a reading now. But the thing is, I wanted to give this reading earlier, by the weekend, and but things happened, like I told you, because the drive that I used to transfer my SD card, I just had one. My dog ate my homework. No, my dog ate my drive for some reason. It fell off the desk. And even if I had recorded one, I couldn't transfer it on to edit it. Anyway, there. Very important week today, the days leading up to the summer slash winter solstice. And because, you know what, this happens, that the sun now, it's rising on the galactic cross. And so this opens a very powerful stargate. And this happens once every 26,000 years. And it stays there for a period of around 72 years. Okay, and we're in that period, the 72-year period, and it's very important in the evolution of our species, okay, as humans. Of course, most of you are volunteers and are starseeds at the same time, and not just, or angelics and not purely human. So, and that's why we're here, to help them throughout this period wherein they can get the most benefit, and help the others ascend as well as ourselves. Okay, and so right now it's a time wherein we can get all these ascension codes, and that help us recalibrate ourselves, and get us to the place of enlightenment faster. Okay, so this is vital in our evolutionary process. And so during this summer solstice, summer slash winter solstice, because that gateway is open, I'm just trying to explain this, even if I know that you probably know about it, but for those who don't, then this is FYI. Okay, so once that stargate is opened, and a lot of the ascension codes come down, and we can get the most benefit from it. This helps us calibrate our frequencies to these higher frequencies, and this happens for several days before the Stargate opening, and several days after. And so while that Stargate is open, it's worth attuning to this celestial, that divine dispensation, okay, that's being shared with us at this time, and so we can help with our ultimate well-being. So that's just FYI about the coming solstice. So take advantage of it, and I do have a booster that will help. Just check if it will help you, but I'll tell you about it later on. Right now, and this is, Let's see what we have for this very important week for both the divine masculine and the divine feminine. Okay, so as always, I've already prayed over the cards and shuffled them. I don't know why Spirit asked me to use these oracle cards. I usually don't use oracle cards for the main, let's call them spirals, right? Because there. But I was asked to use them. And at the bottom of the deck, we have here Treasure Island, and look at this. You can see this tortoise here. There's turtle or tortoise, and above it is the treasure chest. And this really talks of the solstice and this dispensation of gifts and codes, but you will only get it if you wise up to it, if you are conscious of it, that it's being given to you, because otherwise you don't know, or you won't know, or you'll miss out on the value of what is of what is being given at this time. Okay, and see there, breathe. So Spirit is saying that right now, all you have to do during this time is to receive. Make sure that you're a very receptive and open channel, a vessel, okay, to receive it. And that also has to do with the divine masculine, why their divine feminine aspect is being awakened, to get them into balance. Because here, you're a vessel, you need to receive it. That's why divine feminine is often depicted in the form of a cup. And see, that's going to herald this change, and which is necessary for our evolutionary process. And here you can see divine feminine in the form of polar bear, helping the others up, being very protective, being it's like a mama bear, okay, heralding, protecting those who have not quite reached maturity in their and in their cognition of the divine feminine aspect within them. So this is not specific to the divine feminines or the divine masculines. This is to all who have not reached that level in their ascension journey, for them to go to the next phase, okay? Into really anchoring the 5D grid here on Earth. So there. Now let's go to the divine masculine. I'm going to open all the cards first. We have Yang. Then we have Never Ending Story. We have Clean It Up. And we have Message in a Bottle. Now I'm going to have to pause this first. I don't know. My batteries are wonky. I drain them so fast. I'll be back. Okay, back. Let's start with the divine masculine. You can see that also a lot of the divine masculines are still immersed in ego, meaning the masculine aspect, the divine masculine aspect, they still have to balance it out. It's still how do you say that? It's still the predominant energy that they are in. Okay, so that's why they have to come to balance. That's why their divine feminine aspect has been awakened. That's sort of their pet project at this period in their ascension. When I say their, I mean the divine masculine collective, is to imbibe that, their divine feminine aspect, so that they can break away from the traditional expectations, paradigm of what a male men should be. Okay, and so some of them are still immersed in that. That's still the primordial energy that's operating within them, and this is kind of frustrating for them. Okay, that's why this symbolizes this feeling of it's like it's this again and again and again, and that's why for those who are not going within, or who are still not consciously aware of their multidimensionality, then it's the same thing over and over. Same lessons, whether it comes to different transactions, different relationships, getting into karmic relationships and not finding fulfillment in that. It's the same thing because they're still operating from this. And that's why they're continuing on in their ascension journey with the help of their higher self, nudging them that, hey, if you do something over and over again and you're still getting the same results, then you should try something else. Okay? And here, that's why we have this cleanup card below this, because this would symbolize the grind. Okay, these would be the disappointments that the divine masculines have at why things stay the same. But that's because even no matter how they change houses, they change partners, they change. If the change doesn't come from within, then it's not enough momentum to change externally, because everything starts from within, from the thought, from the intention. And how can they create their reality in 3D if they're not creating from the higher heart? Okay, it's still going to be the same, because they're creating with it's like an ingredient. Okay, an essential ingredient. They have to know what they're working with when they create, so that they can manifest something else. Okay, and so here, right now, this week, there will be the message here is that divine masculines have to release this situation that makes them fall back on their default of being an unawakened masculine living in this time in our planet. He has to clear ego. He has to clear he has to make sure that he is creating, or his actions, his words come from a place of authenticity. Okay? So integrity, authenticity, because both those have to do with the higher heart. And so if you're creating from that place, then that's how you can manifest faster, how you can clear your karma faster, because when those two things are clear, then everything follows. So purging for the divine masculine, urging them to clean up their whatever that is blocking them, or whatever that's making them go through the same thing over and over again, and really being introspective about it, thinking about it, and doing something about it. Okay? And here, because, and this is largely as a result of being an unawakened, or not really all that conscious of the divine masculine's divinity and ascension journey. Here we have message in a bottle. And what this means is that if he remains going through life unawakened, the universe is going to send him messages that he has to revise whatever he's doing. He has to clean up all those things that cause him to repeat the lesson over and over again. Repeat his circumstances, his situation over and over again. It's like being a play. It's the same play, and it's the same play, meaning it's the same. When I say play, it's the play in the theater, wherein there are actresses, like Broadway, okay? It's like the same characters, the same plot, but it's just different people playing the same characters. But in essence, it's the same. And the Divine Masculine, we've seen him wanting that to change, okay? But now, during this time, he's going to be urged. And if he is an awakened, he's going to be given signs by the universe. And like in the case of my dad, well, the loss, his placing in the election, that's a big sign. It's a wake-up call, which I cannot interfere with. Okay, there are times when I can't say, and even if I kind of know what's going to happen, because it's not my place to say, and I have to listen to the guidance they give on that. So the universe is going to give the Divine Masculine signs on what to clean up. And this is the nudge. It's actually going to be a big nudge on their part so that they can balance themselves out. Okay, because right now the masculine aspect is still is resurfacing again. And I was thinking, it's it fluctuates. Number one, because as humans, we're not perfect, and I think you would realize this, that in your own ascension journey, there are highs, there are lows, there are regressions, and then, but that's why we have to learn how to transmute them, and because you take a step back, but you realize you take a step back, so that you can take 2 steps forward. But it's a cycle. So don't feel resigned or disappointed that happens, because that's how it is. That's why there's the infinity symbol. There are natural ups and downs, regressions and then progressions. But it all spirals up. Just like these cards, the energy spirals up, and that's how your ascension journey goes. Okay, but there are dips, there are highs, there are lows, and right now the Divine Masculine finding himself confronting these blocks to moving forward, so that he just doesn't go around in circles, and instead he spirals up. Okay, so there. And let's look at this card. This would be alone time, which symbolizes present Vega. Okay, because during this time, the vegans, and I don't even know, I don't think they eat anything, but this is not the vegans that eat veggies all the time. Okay. But our brothers and sisters in Vega, during this time, they realize the value of solitude, because it's only in silence that they can realize and make sense of this. And that's what's being advised to the Divine Masculines, because if they can't pinpoint, they can't diagnose that the reason for this is because of this, okay, that the reason for this is because of this, then they can't do anything about it, and they're being told to do something about it. Okay, if they don't realize it on their own, they're going to be given signs by the universe. And like I said, because this is by way of karmic clearing also, this comes much harsher. So it's really, well, I wouldn't say it's easier, because it's very, it's more difficult to resolve those things within. But at least these are things that you can transmute on your own instead of being subject to external situations that you have no control over. Because the only thing you have control over is wanting, it's your free will, to change how you perceive, how you react to things. And those are often how you react to situations, to things. Those are often signs, not signs, but it's like flags of where you are in your journey. If it still triggers you, if it upsets you. But anyway, so this week, Divine Masculine being asked to be more introspective, to know what it is, to realize what it is that he has to release. Okay, let's go to the Divine Feminines now. Okay, we have Poised, number 48. Co-create, number 40. Loyal Heart. And then we have Soulmates. Beautiful cards for the Divine Feminine. Okay, we start here. Divine Feminines now are operating from a very confident stance. Okay, graceful, confident, poised. And this is because that they realize that whatever comes their way, whatever situation, number one, most of the Divine Feminines are already aware that they are multidimensional beings. They're already aware that of their origins, okay, who they are, and then why they're here and what they're meant to do. And knowing how this works and the various components that really come into play, then she's better equipped to face whatever it is that comes her way. And that's why here, the next card we have here is the co-create card. And this means, this is the Divine Feminines really having a hand and exercising their free will in creating the reality that they want for themselves. Okay, you can see here, this is a cougar. Yeah, because the puma is black. So this would be a cougar. Okay, very fast. But then again, balanced by this owl, giving wisdom. And you can see here, this is Humpty Dumpty, really, on the wall, literally. So there's a delicate balance there of something that hasn't been born, something, a creature that is, that symbolizes wisdom. And I think this is the cheetah, okay? And the cheetah here, which is speed, precision, accuracy, and being a go-getter. So all this, whether it's in the how do you say that? It's in the embryonic stage. It's still in the beginning stages. Then the Divine Feminine is really focused on bringing this to maturity. But then she can do that better if she's in touch with her intuition, with her higher self, with the guidance. So this is manifesting consciously, okay? And regardless what situation is in front of her, okay? Because remember, we don't exist in a bubble. The people that we interact with, they have their own, number one, soul contracts. They have their own karma to clear if they haven't cleared it yet. And so all this, these are other components that we have to live with, we have to react to, and they they are an important component in determining whether or not what we want to happen, what we want to manifest, is successfully manifested, so to speak. So here you have the confidence, here you have deliberate creating, okay, and the wisdom of being in touch with, is this for the highest good? What you want? Will this help advance your soul journey, your ascension journey? Is this what your soul calls you to do? Is this part of your mission? Those are things that you have to, that the divine feminines are actually, they're weighing before acting. Okay? And all the while she is helping co-create her reality from a stance that is poised, that is confident, that is without fear. Okay? She, of course, is still very much in touch with her twin flame. Now, this may be an energetic connection or a physical connection. It matters, of course, in your own personal journey, but it is a connection nonetheless. And this is saying that she's doing this because this is not an uncertainty for her anymore. This loyalty, this fidelity to her twin flame, it's a given. And because it's a given, she doesn't obsess about it anymore. She can turn her attention to higher things. She's not it's something that's there, and which she derives support from. So while she's going about creating her reality, then she's drawing support from her twin flame. And for the most of you, that's going to mean that this is an energetic exchange. If he is physically there, he or she, your twin flame, is physically with you and you have achieved physical union, then well and good. Okay? But here, this what Spirit is saying is that she will draw strength and support from her twin flame. Okay? And in the process of all this, of co-creating, look, she's going to meet other people. When we say soulmates here, this doesn't really mean a romantic connection. What this means is that you will encounter your soul family. You will, because you are resonating at this frequency already, and it is almost by default that you are resonating and you are vibrating in this frequency. You will attract those people that you resonate with. And so this is like it's going to be like a signal. Sorry, it's too fast. I mean, what they're saying is too fast, but my words can't keep up with it. What I'm saying is that, number one, you're going to attract by default those people who are vibrating at the same frequency with. The divine feminines will find it very easier than before to separate those who are still vibrating at a low frequency, those who do not have pure intentions, or whose feigned intentions don't come from the heart. And this is something that you will learn to spot very easily if you are at that stage in your ascension journey. Authentic from inauthentic people whose words do not match their energetic signature. Okay, this is like somebody saying that I love you all, but they don't really mean it. It's just a platitude. They are pandering to their audience, and the divine feminines will easily separate those. And because she's attracting at a very strong signal, she will attract those people who are vibrating at the same rate as she is. And that will most often be her soulmates, okay? So a part of her soul family coming together. And this is not relegated to twin flames, okay? So there, you will be drawn to people who are authentic, but more importantly, you will realize those who aren't. And but then these are just the people that, on the one hand, it's not just separating them, but there is also realization that these are the very people that we are called to assist. Okay? And because they're so unawakened, they're very much asleep, and still operating primarily in 3D and solely in 3D, most often the help that we can give them is through energetic means. And but that's what we're doing as a collective. Okay, so there, and let's look at this card here for the divine feminines. Okay, so for this week, at least during the solstice, what will be in focus for the divine feminines would be equal value philosophy of the Pleiadians. Okay, because this is a time at the evolution of the Pleiadians wherein this, how do I say this? They're conscious of the currency that they are using in exchanges, and everything will have equal value because what is measured is not the, let's say, the monetary value, but the intention, the heart behind it. Let's say, okay, how do I explain this? Okay, you have two rich friends. You have two rich friends, and then let's say it's your birthday. The other one gives you a designer handbag, an authentic Chanel, let's say, and the other one gives you a gag gift. Oh no. Let's say stationery, personalized stationery, and they were both happy to greet you on your birthday and all that. And when you receive both those two gifts, this kind of energy tells you that you're going to recognize not the item itself, but the intention behind it. It's sort of like it's a thought that counts, but it's not just a thought because it's more of the intention behind it. That's why both the Chanel bag and the stationery are equal in value. Okay, because it's not the monetary value that's important, because that's a very 3D concept, although we have to live with it, of course. It's the motive behind it, the underlying the heart behind it, that's what I'll call it. And that's why it brings you equal joy. And the other feelings connected to receiving the authentic Chanel handbag, if you look at it closer, those will be tied to ego. But then again, the amount of joy that you feel because you recognize that their equal value will will be the same. So that's the equal value philosophy of the Pleiadians, that because the divine feminines are more balanced and they are more discerning, they're recognizing this now. So the competition, the it's like your neighbor, the Jonases, and trying to compete because she or he has this, that's slowly going to not matter as much anymore once this philosophy is truly imbibed. Okay, and so I'm gonna pick a card in the middle. Yeah, this is the deck I used for both twins. Okay, here we have exchanging gifts, and this has to do with reciprocity. So this week, this is divine masculines wanting some alone time. And in the meantime, this will be a time for the divine feminines to be able to give their gifts to those who need it. And here, so different gifts right now, in the sense that, okay, hold on. What they're saying is that this week we're going to be the recipient of all these ascension codes that are going to help us, propel us forward. But then we are being given this so we can give it out to the others who are unawakened, who are not at that level, and the divine masculines are included. And even if that means leaving them alone for this time, and really taking a step back in interactions with them, that's okay, because that's what they need at this time. For the divine feminines, part of the gifts that you will receive is to really sort of pay it forward to others, making others understand this equal value philosophy of where they are coming from. Where does it stem from? The actions, the words of others, what they give you, and there. Okay, so again, very important week this week. And like I said, for those who need assistance and who would like to get the most benefit this week, I do have a Solstice Booster. That would be 30 minutes of Reiki, and with divine codes for the influx of divine love to continue, to help us continue progressing with manifesting new earth. Okay, and then for willingness to be of service to humankind, because that's what we're being called to do, and for the ability to serve others from the heart with understanding, grace, and ease. And for if you're getting the Solstice Booster for your divine masculine, there will be an added code. Okay, so anyway, I do ask you who you're getting the Reiki for. If it's for your divine masculines, or if you are a divine masculine and you're getting this Solstice Booster, I'm going to include the codes to increase the divine feminine in you, that energy. And this is going to optimize the energy balance when that the yin energy is too low. This is going to help you because to balance this out. Okay, so there. For those who are interested, just go to the website, and we'll do it during this span of time that the solstice is here. Okay, so that's what I have for you, and I hope this helps. Take care, everyone. Bye.